Welcome back to the TWSN YouTube channel. We're continuing our countdown until the NFL draft with our team-specific 7-round mock drafts. We are currently on day 19, which leaves us the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, no more Tom Brady. It's a very different team over there this year. A lot of the same players. Shouldn't really say different team, but different mindset. You're going to have different leaders. They've gone through a lot of changes in the last few years. This year is no different. Now at 19, I think Tampa Bay is kind of in the rumors about maybe trading up. Maybe they like Will Levis, whatever it is. They're doing a lot, but again, no trades in these videos. So here at 19, they got a decent amount of picks. So they're gonna have to make the most of it. Immediately, we're gonna check out the tackles. I think Darnell Wright's probably gone at this range, but maybe he is here. Corner is very interesting as well. I think you can argue their need for edge is very important. And a guy like Miles Murphy kind of is a good value here at 19. Maybe they pass on him, maybe they don't. And there's also the, not necessarily rumors, but like they've been talking to a lot of these running backs as well. I like Rachaad White though, so who really knows there? But if this is how the board falls, I think I'm gonna draft Darnell Wright. I do think there's a good chance he's gone by then, but I do think if he is there, there's a good chance he is a pick. So we're gonna play along with that here. It is a mock simulator, so not everything's gonna be the most accurate in the world. We're gonna play the cards that are dealt to us in here. Darnell Wright is available at 19, and they have a clear need at the tackle position, and they need offensive line help. I think Darnell Wright can come in and play left and right tackle if you need him. It's a very solid prospect all around. Now here at 50, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is kind of fun. I don't really want them to spend any picks on a running back early like that. I'm gonna go look at the cornerback group. Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson's a really good fit there too. I know keeping them semi-local, in the same state at least. They obviously lost some corners in the offseason. They retained someone as well, but again, they need some depth in the room. Just a really solid pick there. It's a good positional value. Good corners don't typically last too long come NFL draft time, and Tyreek Stevenson is very good. Now I'm going to look immediately into the edge department. Derek Hall is very fun. I've taken him a few times throughout the draft. Yaya Diaby is really rising up draft boards these last few weeks. He's a little older, but his athletic profile is phenomenal. The tape is really good too. You can really see the flashes with him on tape. It's very clear, and it is very evident. I'm gonna look at the running backs a little bit too. I know their running back room is just weird. I like Rachaad White, but they don't really have too much outside of that. Maybe they add a picker back later in the draft. I want to refrain from taking one too early. I think I am going to go back to the edges, and I'm going to give him Zach Harrison from Ohio State. Just one of those guys that the upside is so clearly there. Super long, super explosive athlete. These Ohio State edge rushers tend to do pretty well in the NFL when you have the kind of careers that Zach Harrison did there. And the Bucs are one of those teams that they have their needs, but like they have a lot of stars as well. Like they have that interesting team build where you have a lot of big names and then some like solid guys. No like major real like massive holes. Because they have a lot of their stars really do carry them. But adding these three guys to start the draft to kind of come in and fill in the trenches, and two of them and another elite skill position player is a very fun start to the draft if you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Now here at what do we have? Round 5. So we have these 3 early picks, normal picks, and then you don't pick again for quite some time, like 70 picks. So you really got to make the most of these first 3 picks before you have this very far fall off necessarily. Tampa Bay really needs some help just across the offensive line. They need some bodies, man. I have some solid players. I'm not gonna say they're immediate needs, but they just need some bodies in there. And I'm gonna go Ekiyor Jr. from Alabama, just because he can play a little bit everywhere. He's played multiple positions on the offensive line. And like I said, the Bucs just kind of, they've been weird with their offensive line lately. They was really good, and then they kind of just tried to sneak by last year with not the best offensive line. It didn't really work out. And then they cut some people. They brought some other guys in. But at the end of the day, you're adding Darnell Wright, who can play left or right tackle, and then now you add Ekiyor Jr., who can play multiple positions on the offensive line as well. And even if he is just depth, they have some older guys on the offensive line, so he is a starter. He could start year one if you really needed him to, but at the very least, he's going to be a starter very, very soon. And he can play multiple positions, so he fills you with good depth as well. Now, I'm going to look into the running back room a little bit here. All the ones that I would kind of consider for Tampa Bay are gone for the most part. So I maybe Tavion Thomas later just because he's more of your bigger back. He can complement Rachaad White a little bit, but probably not. So let's keep it raw. I'm deciding. I'm trying to think if I want to double dip in the cornerback and in the edge room. I feel like you're probably going to have to, just because. Also maybe they like one of these quarterbacks too. If they don't just want to roll with Kyle Trask, pretty much. Maybe they take a shot on DTR, Toon, O'Connell. There's a bunch of those guys there that you could really argue that. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna look on the D line a little bit. Nothing standing out on the edge. Ali Gay's pretty interesting there, but they don't really. I don't know if they need to double dip an edge all that much, but it really wouldn't surprise me. Some of these safeties are pretty solid as well. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and double dip and give him Ali Gay, just because I feel like, kind of BPA there. On my board at least. There's just, for what the Bucs need, there's not too much left. I'm not going to push a running back when there's no people that I really think fit what they would be wanting in the running back room. But they have all these picks here in a row. Maybe they, pair these up to move up in the draft. For now, like I said, we're going to roll up, no trades, and just continue to fill out this roster. I mean, some of these safeties, I'm going to take Brandon Joseph just because they need their secondary has been solid the last few years, but again, they lost some pieces. There's been some guys moving around, but I think the thing with the Bucs at the end of the day, they just need to get younger in a lot of premier positions. Safety isn't necessarily a premier position, and they have some young guys there, but they still Brandon Joseph is just a really good value there. But that's kind of why I double dipped in the edge department as well. They just got to get younger in a bunch of places. They got to get cheaper too. They got to figure out their future, and right now they don't really have that quarterback. So building around him and planning a little bit for the future when you do have your quarterback is a pretty smart thing to do. So now, this is tough. I do think a wide receiver that I don't know if there is one they like, would totally be in play here. They obviously, everybody knows they have their guys at the top, but they don't really have any young successors in that room. If we're really being honest, though, I do think, I am going to take a receiver. I am going to take Charlie Jones here just because it's good value. And like I said, I know that need for them is down the board, but it could become a need very, 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 very quickly for them. And Charlie Jones is a hell of a player. He can kind of come in and learn from both Evans and Godwin a little bit. And, that's good. That's how you really want to develop some of these younger guys when you come into the league, especially when he doesn't not gonna be forced into playing time or anything, but he can be a really solid pro, especially if he's gonna have that time to learn from them as well. Now, I am gonna take Tavion Thomas here, just a running back to get in the room, a bigger guy that can handle some different things than Rachaad White. I still like Rachaad White a lot. I'm a big Rachaad White guy, but they do need bodies in that room. They do need some new faces. So I think Tavion Thomas, all the way down here at 196, is appropriate for him. And consider him, these last bunch of picks, but they need. I like the getting some of the future more priority positions more than running back before I drafted a running back that they might not necessarily need. And then with the last pick, I'm going to double dip in the cornerback room and give him Mekhi Blackman from USC. Really probably won't be available this late, but I do think it's totally possible they will double dip in the quarterback room, which is why I did it. But this is a really solid draft for Tampa Bay. I know there's rumors about them trading up, but again, we don't do that here. We're just going to pick with what you guys have to keep it more realistic. Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, Zach Harrison is a phenomenal start. You get a versatile offensive lineman. And like I said, you fill out some important skill positions. You get younger. You play a little bit for the future. with these last few picks. You get a wide receiver to learn from some of the great wide receivers you have. Then you get a depth corner and a complementary running back. But again, these first 3 picks are really good. Darnell Wright comes in and can play right away. Same thing for Tyreek Stevenson. Zach Harrison can be a rotational edge rusher right away. This does a good job of kind of like balancing out that win now, but planning for the future draft as well. This is a very good draft for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you don't want to miss any NFL or any sports related news, make sure you follow along on all the TWSN social medias accounts. And if you want to see your team specific 7-round mock draft, make sure you keep an eye on here on the TWSN YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here soon.